Well done, Microsoft. Well done. You actually did something smart. So, we're going to go through the entire Xbox E3 conference. You can tell I'm kind of only still waking up. I've only been up for just over 2 hours. And of course, even though I am quite awake now, actually, because that was a pretty impressive showcase of games, they didn't lie. It said it was going to be all about games. Sure enough, that's what it was. So, we're going to go through everything and or I'll comment on pretty much everything we saw because there's a lot to talk about. So right off the bat, we got Metal Gear Solid 5, which looked unbelievably good. I'm actually somewhat interested in this one, which is unusual because I've never been a big Metal Gear Solid guy. I do understand a lot of people's pain though with David Hayter not being the voice of Snake anymore. I got to admit, listening to Kiefer Sutherland doing the voice acting for Snake was kind of awkward. I guess I wasn't I mean, even though I haven't played the Metal Gear Solid series that much, it is very strange listening to somebody else doing it when you know it's not the same voice anymore. So I understand people's gripes with it, but it doesn't sound terrible. It's just different. After that, they unveiled the new Xbox 360, which looks absolutely fucking ugly. I don't. It looks like they put a black condom on halfway on that thing and then put a tiny red or green ring sticker on it. It looks really weird, and I don't really care even if it's quieter and holds more shit. Like, it's a little late for that now. You got a new console coming out in November. Like, oh yeah, by the way, it got leaked out early on that it's going to be released in November. So why would you make a new 360 now? Doesn't make any sense. They also announced that from now on 360 on Xbox Live, all Gold members are going to get 2 free games per month, and that the first 2 games to come out would be Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3. Okay, I'm pretty sure anybody who wanted to play that has probably done that by now, so I wasn't nearly that excited about it. It's not like it's going to be like what we said with the used games. Like if there was no used games, do you really think Xbox is going to have sales like Steam does? I doubt it. After that, we got a couple surprises. World of Tanks, I did not expect was going to come for Xbox, so that was surprising. Max Curse of Brotherhood was the first attempt at Microsoft saying, "Oh, we really do care about any developers. Oh, you got it all wrong. We really do." And then there was Dark Souls 2, which I kind of went, "Yeah, I'm not playing that because I'm gonna suck at it." Then Crytek comes out and shows off. I think it was Rise, Son of Rome, which I'm going to translate into QuickTime Event Central because apparently you cannot kill an enemy without needing to press X to kill. Sure. Okay. So after that, I was kind of pissed off, admittedly, because I'm thinking, oh, great. I thought we were going into the new age of gaming, but it's still QuickTime events left and right. And then Killer Instinct shows up. Okay, you got me. You got me. You have my attention now. And then Sunset Overdrive comes out, which kind of looks like a cross between Team Fortress 2 and Left 4 Dead, which immediately piqued my interest. I'm like, okay, back-to-back games that are pretty good. Okay. Why are you doing good things now? You're scaring me, Microsoft. Then they start talking about the new the McLaren. I think it was the P1, that car, and then they bring it out on stage, and I'm looking at that, thinking, is that what I get to play this game in? Okay, I'm in. Oh wait, it's going to cost me thousands of dollars. Okay, never mind. But they show a Forza 5, and they don't really show too much to it. They talked about how the AI will adjust to your driving habits, and I thought about that and went, that's not going to do anything because I have no driving habit. I just drive and I might happen to hit something. That's really my driving strategy. It's just like, try not to hit something, but eventually I will hit something. Then the show Minecraft is going on Xbox One, and it's getting bigger maps, more multiplayer options. You know, they can take more people on, and I'm like, crap, that's another thing that's going to make me want to go for it. Quantum Break comes out again. Well, at least this time they don't show a television kind of trailer, but we still have no idea what the hell it is. It looks almost like a cop drama, except, time stops in partial area. I don't know what the hell that thing is. And then we had this Walking Dead, almost kind of graphic like episodic murder mystery, it seems, called D4, which looks really cool. And then we get to Project Spark, which is arguably one of the most impressive demos I've seen in a while, but at the same time, I could not take that thing seriously at all because the guy commentating on it was just absolutely terrible. Also, Capcom's going to sue them because they used Rockman several times during that demo. I mean, he's like, yeah, go get him, Rockman. No, no, no. Then Microsoft announces their partnership with Twitch. That didn't surprise me. Back in the podcast, after the PlayStation 4 conference, when they talked about how they were partnering with Ustream, both me and Brian said over that podcast, I'm not going to be surprised at all if they partner with Twitch just to even things out. Sure enough, I was right. Then we get to the fun of the conference. Crimson Dragon comes out. I said Prince and Dragon because I wasn't paying very much attention at that point, but it's Crimson Dragon, and the entire trailer plays with no sound. It was kind of funny. The audience were making sound effects for a moment there, and then it just kind of went okay. After that, we get a couple trailers of, one was a trailer, one was gameplay. We get Dead Rising 3, which it seems like it's taken most of the humor out, which kind of is disappointing. If it's going to be a much more gritty, realistic game for the third one, I don't think a lot of people are going to like it nearly as much because that's what a lot of people liked about the past two games is that it was not taking itself seriously. It was just random and funny. And then Witcher 3, which is another game I'm probably not going to play because I was terrible at the second game when I tried that one out. But both of them looked, stunning visually. And the only problem I had is when they were showing off Dead Rising 3 and they showed him using smart glass to call in an airstrike, I'm like, why would you want that? You're taking the person out of the action to do it. So I don't get the idea of smart glass. And then we get fuck up number 2, Battlefield 4. So it starts playing with no sound. They stopped this time. And I felt really bad for the guy announcing it. He stood there. He's like, are we going? Are we done? Oh, wait, no, we're continuing? And people were giving him so much shit, too. I felt so bad for him. And you could tell after the demo was done, which, it was okay. I mean, it didn't look any different, really. I mean, it's Battlefield. It's like Call of Duty. They don't really change too much. But you could tell just how pissed off he was. Because, he's like, we're like the big company. This is one of the biggest games you guys are showing, and you fuck up our demo. Thanks, guys. Speaking of things fucking up, after that point, the Xbox stream literally killed. It just went gone like that. And I was forced to go onto an internet browser quickly, so I missed most of the Battlefield 4 demo. After that, we got another indie game called Below. It was like a roguelike game, and I'm still not convinced that Xbox is that good with indie developers. As I said over Twitter, Total Biscuit was commenting on that as well. I said, yeah, of course indie developers don't have a problem with Microsoft as long as they follow every little box on the checklist that's next to impossible to get through, I imagine. And then they come out with Black Tusk, and that's the name of the company that's producing it, and they don't show the name of what they're doing or really what it is. It was a guy rappelling down a building for the most part. I'm like, okay, what was the point of that? I don't know. That was confusing. And then we get a quick Halo trailer. I don't know if they named the game as just Halo for the Xbox One or if it's going to be Halo 5. I don't know. Maybe it's Spartan Assault. Who knows? I don't know. But they came up very briefly, and they mentioned television. I thought they weren't going to say that word at the conference, but they did. After that, we had 2 final announcements. They said, of course, that what we already knew was that it was going to get released in November, and that it's going to be $499, which is kind of high, but then again, I guess we won't know for sure until Sony comes out later in the evening and announces what their price is going to be. Unfortunately, I get to miss that because I have a job. That whole thing about making money. And last but not least, we got Titanfall, which is made by some of the ex-developers from Infinity Ward, the guys who made Call of Duty 4, moved on to make Respawn Entertainment. And it basically looked like what Call of Duty would if there were a lot more mechs and wall running with jetpacks. So, yeah, that was kind of awesome. I didn't really have too much of an interest to it in the trailer, but once they showed some gameplay, I'm looking at it thinking, oh, okay, that looks pretty fucking cool. Okay, you have my attention with that too. So overall, I mean, they did what they needed to do. They got people interested again, but until we really hear everything from Sony and what they have coming our way, it's kind of hard to understand just how it's going to be when there are still so many things about the Xbox One that we just cannot stand. The used games, the Connect, the you only have one friend borrow it, and that's it. And there's a lot of things with the Xbox One that are still very wrong, and I'm not sure that the best games in the world are going to solve that problem. So at this point now, Xbox has at least gotten them to the point that I'm not absolutely pissed off at them anymore. However, Sony now still has the floor to basically take all my attention away from Xbox One for good. So tomorrow I'll get the chance to watch the PS4 conference, and then that's pretty much where I'm going to make my decision. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you down the line. Now, when the podcast comes out next week, it will be not what it was last year where we went through every conference back and forth. It's going to be pretty much a bit of a recap to it. And basically, I'm going to go through that, take apart everything that was important out of this. I mean, this conference, I've given you everything. Not everything in here was that important. So we'll take everything together and we'll decide just who wins at E3 between Microsoft and Sony, and then who just had the best conference overall. So, see you guys later.